Hey guys. Hey everybody over on my Facebook Live page. How are you guys doing? It is another episode of the Speakeasy interviews on the Speakeasy podcast. I am your host, Altovise, and I am coming to you live or via the replay because someone shared this out. So those who are catching this via the replay, please make sure that you share this out. Share it out in your groups, on your timeline. If you're catching this via YouTube, you can still share it out on Pinterest and all across the web. I am excited about the interview that I am about to do tonight. It is with an author who wrote a book. Guess what? Who's ready to get their keys to their own home? A lot of times we kind of get into this mindset that we can't really own a home. We think that we have to have uber amazing credit, like it has to be a 9,000 when it comes to our credit score. But we don't really talk to a realtor. Hey, Darlene, we don't really talk to a realtor in order for us to get the real nitty gritty about, owning our own home. And so I love what Antoinette has done with her doing her first book. Yes, it's her first book and it's the first of many. I'm sure she has many more that will be coming. I've also been able to see Antoinette as a speaker as well in Indianapolis, in Florida. She's done some amazing things. And if you check her out on social media, you'll see that she goes live and shows pictures with those of her clients that are going and getting those keys to their home. For some of them, it is their first time ever owning a home. Their first time ever. And so as I am sitting here, I will go and I will invite her in to the broadcast. But as we're waiting, by all means, don't forget to share this out, share it out, because someone may need this information so that way they can be the one that is getting ready to sign for their home. That part is important for you to understand. And so, hey, Jake, how are you? As you guys come in, thank you for joining. Thank you for the reactions as well. I greatly appreciate it. Just so those of you that know, any of you that are an author or a speaker, the Speakeasy podcast, I do author and speaker interviews throughout the week. And then those interviews are uploaded to YouTube and shared out across social media. In order for you to be on this platform, you go to bit.ly/speakeasy podcast, all lowercase, and you will have the opportunity to not only be on this platform, but also have an opportunity to be featured in one of our blog collaborations. Our blog is Our Voice Matters, and there is Antoinette. I am going to invite you into the broadcast, sis. So you that the podcast spaces are filling up. I already have people that are starting to sign up for dates in January. So you want to get on that. That's bit.ly/speakeasy podcast for you to be able to sign up for your slot. Super excited. And like I said, it's for speakers and authors, and we go behind the scenes and talk about what it really means to be an author or a speaker. Sometimes we think just authors and speakers are simply only motivation. You guys have caught some of my previous interviews. You'll know that I've had a hairstylist on here who's written a book. I've had a PR person that's written a book who was on here. That was Stevie Aisha Mills. You can catch her replay over on my YouTube channel. But like I said, it's not just inspiration and motivation. It's not only business. There are so many other ways and so many other options for people when it comes to writing their first book. And so it said that it couldn't bring you in. I'm going to try again, Antoinette. Yes, that part. We know that Facebook does its own thing, so we're just going to let Facebook do its thing, as always. But we always either go live here on Facebook with the Speakeasy podcast, or it is recorded on Zoom and then uploaded to Facebook and all social media sites. But like I said, you have a great opportunity because I have at least 17,000 followers across my social media sites. and you get to be put in front of each and every one of them, including but not limited to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus, and of course YouTube. You get to be put in front of all of those amazing people with your particular book or brand as a speaker or an author. That is what it is. And it's funny because we're always talking about, as a speaker or an author, you're also an entrepreneur. So it gives you a better insight into the world of entrepreneurship, because there's so many ways that we can use our book, not just by selling it. So many ways that we can utilize our book, not just by selling it, but by doing some other things as well. So if you've caught any of my previous episodes, you know that I don't just do interviews, that I come on and I give tips and tricks as well. Again, if you go to Altovise Pelzer over on YouTube, you can catch all of those videos and the replays. I think there's like at least 50 episodes. Oh, it said that there was no answer. It was said that there was no answer, Antoinette. Do you have your phone in landscape mode? I know Facebook has been doing some things, so you may have to go out and then come back in and put it in landscape mode. But what else? Yeah, so when it comes to you utilizing your book doesn't necessarily just mean you selling it. And there she is. Hey, sis! So I am super excited to have you on tonight. I have known that for about almost 2 years now, pretty much. And I have seen her like explode with going live on Facebook and Periscope. I've seen her explode when it came to writing her book, and I was actually on the platform with her the day that she launched. Yes! It is an amazing feeling. So tell them a little about yourself, Antoinette.
Well, I am Realtor Antoinette. I call myself Diva, and you know, some people will have the name maybe wrong, and I said Diva because it's dynasty, because dynasty in real estate, right? And I said the I is for investment. The V, because you get investment into real estate. The V is for value, because that's exactly what you get out of real estate. Because buying anything else, most things, not anything, but most things, you don't have any value into it. You know, by the time you wear it, it's, you know, it depreciates. But anytime you can find value into something, definitely. And the A is for what DIVA. Sorry, the A is for I forgot right now. Sorry, guys. My mind is just flowing. But anyway, I'll get back to that. But anyway, I serve women and men that want to definitely invest into real estate. And not, first time I used to talk about just buying a home. Now I'm talking about, no, don't buy a home on an FHA loan. Buy an investment property. Buy something that can serve you. Buy something that you can invest in. Buy something that you can make a return on your money. Now I'm all thinking about differently. But at one time, you know, that we grow, right? At one time I was teaching people, everybody, just buy a home. Get in your home. Have your own home. Now I'm teaching people, no. Invest. So that's what I do.
Oh my goodness. And it's funny you would say that, because a lot of us as authors, as speakers, we all go through this level of progression. Like we start out, and you start out on one level when you're starting to understand, you know, what it is that you're doing. You're just fresh into the field, or, you know, you're just fresh getting the information and you're excited about it. But then when you start to get that experience, it's like an aha moment, and you switch it up. And you're doing something amazing, not just for yourself, but you're doing something amazing for your clients. And so what was that aha moment that made you switch from buy your home to invest?
You know what? At first I was so excited that 15 years ago was to buy my house, and realize that a lot of people don't have to rent, and a lot of people don't realize that they have that opportunity. But as you grow, I started to realize there were investors that was investing their money into real estate. And I see investors start telling me what I should be doing and what they want me to help them with. And then I start looking into it. When I start guiding few of my clients into investment property and realized by the end of the year that they had more money invested and not just paying out money, I was like, that was an aha moment. That was a big, and not only that, is you realize a lot of people sometimes fighting to pay their mortgage. They get laid off and like, I don't know what to do. I can't pay my mortgage. And if you had somebody else on the other side paying your mortgage, you wouldn't have that problem. And what I tell people most of all is not squander that money. It's not use that money. It's save that money. That money is not to be put in anywhere else except into the bank account until you're ready to use it. Now, I don't believe in saving too much money in the bank account. I believe in investing. Remember, that's what I believe in. You got to take chances or else you're going to stay stuck and only have so much. And you're not going to have generational wealth.
Ooh, you better come on. You better say that. And so that's what it's about. It's about that generational wealth. And so even when you were writing your first book, when we think about generational wealth, how does that fit into your generational wealth? Because I know that you are a mom, yes, and I've met your amazing son, but how does that fit into your generational wealth?
You know, Altovise, I think I'm going to leave part of this for Atlanta, but most of it for Atlanta. But if I should tell my story, my journey is coming up, and you know, Altovise, I heard a part of your story. And when you're growing up and feel like you wouldn't have enough, and feel like you couldn't do enough, and feel like it wasn't meant for me, and realized that I was stuck, and realized I was stuck because I didn't understand, realized I was stuck because my parents didn't have it to give a legacy for generation left. So you come on and you take on the same broke mentality, the same broke spirit. And even though I can say better for my mom and my dad, and I'll talk more about that, you got to stay tuned for Atlanta because I'm going to talk more of that. But when I realized that I can do better, when I realized that I don't have to be stuck with my children, I remember at times when I didn't have money. I remember at times when the week check was my way out. And when I see that I can make a difference in God, no, when I see that God made a difference in my life, I realized that there was bigger opportunity, but we were so limited to our thinking. We were so limited on our mindset because we was not exposed. So many times, and I don't blame the church, but there are certain churches I would blame a little bit, that they have you in a box. Pray for, to make sure that you're not wearing makeup and not doing this and not doing that, but never teach you how to build generational wealth. Never teach you what a checkbook look like. It's so sad that when I have my client writing a check, they don't know how to write a check. You tell them to write a check out for the earnest deposit, and they don't even know how to write a check for earnest deposit. They don't even know what an earnest deposit is. And then I realized that the people suffer because of lack of knowledge. And I realized I have work to do. And so that's why I'm here. So building generational wealth, one woman at a time, one man at a time, because, even though I love my ladies, I still help my man because some of them didn't get that care, that motherhood, but because mommy didn't know and daddy didn't know and sister didn't know, and and it's so sad because I in this year it's been a big turnaround for me, because too many times I was spending more than I was saving. Too many times I was spending more than investing. And so at this point in my life, I said, no. I got to turn it around. And so if I turn it around for myself, I want to help people to turn it around for them. So yes, build generational wealth, because guys, we can't make our children and our children suffer because we didn't know. We know better now. We are educated now. It's time to take a stand and stop look at the past and say, I didn't get fed. So what? So feed somebody else.
That was fire. And when you said that at one point you felt that the WIC check was your way out, it's interesting how we change our mindset. And we go from that poverty mindset to when now I know that my intellectual property is my way out. The works of my hands is my way out. My investments, that's my way out. When we start to learn all of those things, it's like literally your mind is blown, because for so many years, that's what we saw. We saw women and mothers and families taking care of their families using the WIC check. We saw them on public assistance. We saw, oh, okay, this person got an apartment, this person got a house. And then when we realized it was Section 8, it was like, oh, you pay how much for rent? But see, when we start to move away from that and we start to get that understanding that, okay, no, I don't have to, I might have been there, but I don't have to stay there.
Exactly.
I might have been there, but I don't have to stay there. That's powerful. That is powerful.
Yes.
Look, we can shut down the interview right now, because we can shut down the interview right now, because that was, oh my goodness, that was everything. And I can understand that, because I know for so many years that was me, that was going through that poverty mindset, living paycheck to paycheck and waiting for the colorful envelope before you pay the bill, and or playing bill roulette, and you know this bill might get paid, this bill might get paid. And so that first time you write a book and you start getting payments from that, it's like, oh, well, if I write another book, I'll get payments from that too. And your investment is your time, your investment is your energy, your investment is your money. So when you're investing in real estate, it's going to be the same mindset for you to invest in writing that first book. It's going to be the same mindset for you to invest in starting your business. Come on. It's going to be that same mindset. So when you think about the mindset of those that come to you compared to the mindset of those that don't, so the ones that may be thinking about getting a house or getting a rental property, when you think about the difference, what would you say is the main difference between the two?
I have some people that that want it, and I would more say they dream it. But I have some people that their belly, just deep down inside of them, crave it. There's a difference when you need something to eat, and there's a difference when you're starving. You see, Altovise, when they towed my car, I was starving. I knew I couldn't do it again. It's like the dog that they said sitting on the nail. I knew that I was not just going to call 10 people to complain and don't do anything about it. So when they towed my car and I was so angry, I said, change is coming. I'm going to buy a house. Actually, to Altovise, I don't even know where those words came from. I know so much in the belly of the belly of the belly, you know, the belly bottom, that I was going to make that change. I didn't know how. I'm looking for the people that's hungry like that, because I have so many people that say, I want it, Altovise. The landlord disturbed them, so they get a little peckish. I call it peckish. They're hungry. And they say, I'm ready. You see, when you're ready, And the lender told me, hey, ma'am, that was like 16 years ago. I was a realtor. I was a realtor 10 years now. They said, hey, you can do this, but not right now. What do you mean? Not right now. He said, your credit. I said, I wanted it so bad. I said, double time, triple time, anytime it was my time. So I don't care what I had to do except to sell myself or anything illegal. I was going to do it.
That's right.
Altovise, I'm sorry I didn't have coach because I didn't know to monetize myself. I was giving things away for free. My mind, the things I could do. And I didn't understand business. But God, I'm looking for people like that. They're hungry. So I find some people that say, I'm ready. Tell me what to do. Just tell me, Antoinette. Just guide me. And I said, do X, Z, and Y. And they're doing it. They're ready. They're ready. The people that are not telling me that they have rats in their house running on their bed bugs on their bed, they can't take it no more, and still there another year or 2 years, are telling me that they're not hungry. You see, I know what to be hungry. So when you walk the walk, that's why I like when that Jesus was on earth here. When he walked, he could tell how men feel. You could tell when they were thirsty. You could tell when you were hungry. He could tell when you were tired. So I'm a realtor that could tell you because I walk the walk. I'm not just talking the talk. So when somebody comes to me and tell me they are hungry, I go everywhere that I can go. They said, ooh, Antoinette, I need a budget person. That's why I love working with my sisters and business sisters. I said, hey, I got Delshon for you. She's great at budgeting because nobody teaches how to budget our money. Somebody said, woo,
that's right.
I got credit issue. I'm glad for the team that I got. I said, no problem. I got somebody that can fix your credit for you. Once a time, I didn't have the right team. You see, you grow and you learn and you get wiser and you get better. And so I'm able to help people, but I can't help the people who's not ready to help themselves. You got to be ready. You got to be hungry. You got to be wanted more than I want it. I want it for you. I'm the girl that will dance for you. I'm a girl that will sit up all night looking properties for you. I'm the girl who will sit up like I just came from another showing just now and stay in the cold house with them for 2 hours talking about this. Letting them understand the step to home ownership.
That's right.
But my question is how bad they want it. How bad are you ready to tell you that I can't leave just a rental property to my kids if I pass away? What do they get? What do I have to offer them? And I wake up. I wake up and said, it's wake up time. Black people, Hispanic people, they're already saying that we're going to be poor. I don't even like the word. It's time to wake up. So why are we buying the Jordan sneakers and the Gucci bags and the best cars? And it's time. So I look at it and said, it's time to wake up. So I'm here to wake up my people, but I can't wake them up if they're not ready.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Antoinette. So for those who are catching this live, thank you guys for joining us. Share out the broadcast because somebody somewhere needs this information. Somebody somewhere is ready. Somebody somewhere is hungry enough and ready to sit down and do what it is they need to do. And you know, it's something to be said because when we think about the process of going and owning your own home and investing in real estate properties, and when we think about the process and we compare it to the process of doing your first book or doing any book, there's some things you got to set up because people think that you can just go and write the book and then I'm going to just, people just going to buy it. No, it don't work out that way. And the same,
not at all.
If you go to sit down to buy a home, it's not going to work out that way. You can't just sit down and say, oh, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to just get my keys tomorrow. It's a process. It's a process.
Process.
And when, I always ask this question of any authors that come on is, when you think about writing your first book, what was a blunder that you had? I talk about, the behind the scenes and some things that don't always go right. We know some things go a little left. So what was one of the things that went left for you when you were doing your first book?
Oh my God, everything. You don't know what you don't know. And when I think it was easy, I learned that just keep writing. Actually, I learned that from you. And in Coach Danielle, she said, write. And I'm like, I can't do this, and I started and I like, and I write a little bit and it wasn't going anywhere. And then I went to the van. Van said, come on, Antoinette, just put it out there. Don't worry. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this. And it was tough. Mm-hmm. I heard you said something else, is that never edit your own book. Well, I had like I was the opposite. I wanted everybody to, English is not my writing is not my strong point, guys. I'm not going to fake it. So I gave many people to look it over. And Van said, no, stop, put it out there. And so trying to upload it, trying to understand how to get it on, trying to figure this out was a nightmare. I maybe should have gave it in. I maybe shouldn't have done it myself. I tried to do this myself and I learned hard way. I had, people who try to help me, whatever. But the bottom line is I did it. So I can tell people what not to do and what to do. So I've learned from that. My second book got easier, still a little challenging, but easier. So yeah, there are times when you feel like that maybe you should give more, you're not giving, your book is going to be enough. You never feel like. And then I realized that, you know what, just put it out there. Somebody is going to love it. Because a lot of people tell me they like my book. Of course, I'm redoing the first ebook and putting it into a real book. But I'm glad I put it out there. I'm glad because I am the procrastinator. I'm the person who wants everything to be perfect. And I realized there's no perfect anything. That's why I didn't make my millions years ago, because I'm looking for this perfect thing. And I realized just do it. Learn from it and go. I don't even care if the people are going to criticize, because people are going to criticize anyway. If you do it right, they criticize. If you do it wrong, they criticize. So my thing, just do it. So somebody on the fence and say, I can't do my book. Listen, there's a lot of people who can't read and write and still did their book. Come on. So we can do it. We can do it. I will tell everybody, don't. Just do it. Just do it. I did it. I have no regrets. I sold a lot of ebooks. I become the number 2 best-selling author on my ebook, and I was like, woo! I was like, yes, I was psyched. Then it makes me realize I can do more. Coming up with my next book for next year, you can't wait. I'm not even going to really talk the topic. Coach remind us to keep our mouth shut for a while, but I'm so excited about my next book, and I can't wait. So as you learn, as you grow, you do better. You can have like 4 kids. The first one you try, you made some mistake, and then the first one is mad at you and say, you didn't treat me like that, because you learn, you grow. So take chances. Right. Listen, the people that take chances are the people that win. The people that take chances are people that are millionaires. The people that take chances are the people that are billionaires. The people who sit down and wanted to be perfect, and how smart they are so smart. They have the MBA, name it, you name it, they got it, and they have nothing. So I've learned it's action, doing, the doing work. So a lot of people praying, but they're not applying faith. They're not applying, they have faith, but no works. And the two come together. Faith without works is dead. So I believe that you can achieve anything. And now I'm going for mine. I feel like, at one point I feel like it's so late. Oh my God, I have my kids. And, I'm getting older. I feel like, you know what? The new 40-something is the new 20-something. I am ready. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to take my life to the next level. I'm ready to be the best that I can be. I'm ready to leave a generational wealth. I'm ready to set myself up. And I'm so glad I met my coach, Darnell Whittingham. And I'm so glad that I met my sister, Altovise. You have been my inspiration, just watching you grow. I remember 2 years ago seeing you in the cold. I don't know where you was, but you were outside and you were like rocking and scoping, but you were on there faithfully every single day. I must tell you, girl, you are my inspiration. I was like, I couldn't even do it, but you did it. And today I see you blossoming into somebody special. All I can tell you, girl, when you meet that millionaire status, don't forget me. Because I know you will.
Right.
But guess what, girl? I'm going right for it.
I know that's right. And so you made a very powerful statement in saying, you know, I'm going for mine. And, you know, that perfectionism, that it has to be right, it has to look right. I gotta look like a superstar coming on. I had to let go of all of that, you know, because with you thinking all of that, you won't get it done. That perfectionism will hold you hostage. It will hold legacy hostage. Perfectionism will hold it will hold your millions hostage. It will hold your billions hostage. Perfectionism will hold you hostage because it will hold you in a moment of not moving.
Exactly.
It'll hold a moment of not moving. And there's so many people that I come in contact with that literally that's where they are. You said it in the beginning. Literally, they're the ones that say, you know, oh my goodness, I have bed bugs, but I'm going to stay at this house, this apartment for another year. You know, oh my goodness, I have, you know, issues with the heating and this and that, but I'm going to stay here. And
no heat.
It's like, okay, well, if you're going to stay there, then you're comfortable. We got to be uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable is when I'll say, oh, I'm going to get mine. And I'm going to do it by any means necessary. So for those who are coming in right now, you're listening to an interview on the Speak Easy podcast. I am your host, Altovise Pelzer, with Miss Antoinette Gabriel. And she currently has 2 books. She is not only a realtor, but she also teaches real estate investing as well, and teaching you how to build a legacy. Listen, build a legacy for your children and your children's children. I think that has been the greatest thing that has come about, is that I've said, you know, I want to be able to publish 100 books. Wow. And even if I publish 100 books and only one person buys each of those books, that's 100 lives that have been changed. That's a legacy. That's a legacy. I want my children to be able to look up and they're still getting revenue from the things that I've put in place for them. That's a legacy. I don't want them to have to start where I started. When they graduated from school, I want it to be a completely different experience for them. But I had to want something different for myself before I could want something different for them. Yeah. I had to want it different for myself, because I found that when you want it so bad for somebody else, that fizzles out and fades away. But when you want it for you, man, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. You turn into Superman over here. Listen, you got to want it for yourself. And so in talking about your most recent book, Antoinette, what has been the reviews that you have gotten from your readers? Like, what has been like the main thing that people have been saying about this particular book?
Okay, so my book is really a journal for home buyers to have something to start them off with a mindset, to journal, you know, why they want a house. Because I feel like the first thing to start off with, especially a first-time home buyer, is your mindset. Why do I want it? jot down some of the things why you want it. Then I have, you know, one of the things this girl told me, she said, you know what? I always have, I'm not organized. I always have everything everywhere. So I may write something here, write something there. I'm so glad that she picked up one of this book today and she said, I can put everything in one place. And now I have something to basically get everything right where I want it. And to have somewhere where I can, you know the abbreviation for certain terminology of real estate words. That's one of the things that I heard. And also, you know, that somewhere, basically what I hear is, most of all, is somewhere to put everything that they can. And having a journal that they can jot everything down. And I basically give them even a vision board in here to write your vision down, make it plain. What do you want? Because when you write these things down, you go back over to say, okay, this is what I want. I have a checklist of things that you may never even think of. That, oh my God, yeah, I really want an extra bathroom. You never think of it. So many times I said to someone, what is your must have?
Ooh.
They don't know they don't know what they want. Oh, I don't know. But I know they know, but I need to jog their memory. So
Right.
sometimes we get in the house and then they say, oh, I need a dining room. You say you didn't have a must have. So with me jogging them, you start doing your homework. I make you start doing your homework, and you're going to jot down what your home buyer's checklist and check it off. Be realistic. I also put in here, the people always say, what next? What next, Antoinette? What next? So I give you the what next. So you know, after you get approved, what next? After I'm approved, after you get the house is now your offer is now accepted. What next, Antoinette? Okay, I did a home inspection. What next do I expect after the home inspection? Getting you to the point of understanding. So now instead of telling you, oh, you got your journal, right? Go back on page, and put in your dream list. Dream. I like people to dream, even if that's not your first house. Dream it. Because if you dream it, right, you can receive it. And all it takes is to execute what you need to get it done, right? So those are the things that I've been hearing about this journal. This journal was really necessary because too many people was complaining. I listened to complaints. I listened and I said, okay, I got it. I got it. And so I got the journal so that people could write that. Even if you're not ready, you still start journal what you want. You can start looking to it and write down the things that you want daily. Where you want to go, in buying your first property. 2018, I want to buy my first property. So you look into it and you can say, okay, these are the things. I also put some affirmation because when you look at it, I also put in here where, there's some site to go to if you're looking for, some people said, oh, do you know if anybody died in that house? Do you know if any what activity went on? You can check it. I gave you a website that you can go on and you can check it. Motivate you in the morning. Do you want some motivation? You never go on my Facebook page. You can turn to a page and here it is. And it has some motivation, and it also has some mortgage tips, and it has some real estate tips. So most people are loving it because it has
everything. And it's funny because it's something. This is what I always tell my clients is you find the gap and you fill it. And that's what your book did. It found the gap and it filled it. It found the gap of those who were interested in, moving forward with buying a house, but they didn't know the how, the when, the what, the why. It found the gap in the ones who start the process and then they may get a little frustrated. It found the gap for all of those things. And that's why it's such a successful book. That's why it's such a needed book. For those of you who do not know or you haven't bought the book already, Antoinette will be putting the link for you to be able to purchase the book into the comments. Definitely connect with her. She also goes live on Facebook and on Periscope as well. So definitely you want to connect with her. If this is something that you're ready to do, something that you've been thinking about when it comes to owning your own real estate, owning your own home, or investing in rental property, then this is the opportunity for you to step up and say, hey, I need this book. Put it in the comments. If this is a book that you need, put it in the comments. I need this book. Because guess what? You have someone who has put it all in one book for you, and success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. You know that they said if you ever wanted to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. I said, after I heard that statement, I said, I'm going after everything that's mine. Well, however many books I need to read, however many books I need to listen to, because I am a huge Audible fan, however many books that I need to grab a hold of, I'm going to get what's mine. And so this is your opportunity to get what's yours. This is your opportunity to get what's yours. So she'll put the link to that in the comments for you guys, and those who are catching this replay via YouTube. The link will be in the description box along with her social media sites for you to be able to catch up with Antoinette anytime that she goes live. Again, she's always posting pictures and videos from brand new homeowners. I love that because it gives you the feeling that if they can do it, so can I. If they can get their keys, I can get my keys. And it's something for you to think about. It's definitely something to think about.
Altovise, and the big enough there, I forgot my A. So we'll go over what diva real means. So the diva is for dynasty. The D is for dynasty. The I is for investment. The V is for value. And the A, how can I forget that? It's for appreciation. Appreciation. How many things we buy that don't appreciate, guys? So real estate, 99.9% appreciate. Listen, if you leave it long enough, definitely will appreciate.
That's something to think about, because again, and we said it, a lot of times we're investing in the wrong things. We're investing in things that depreciate as soon as we ride it off the lot. We invest in things that depreciate as soon as we walk out the store. Or we're just investing. We're not investing at all. We're just buying things. So let's talk about that part, Antoinette. When it comes to realty, what's the difference between making an investment versus just buying something, just going out and buying any house?
Well, I think a lot of people don't put a lot of thought into it. That's why, again, my book come in very handy. I think that, and not only that, I think also my group come in handy because I try to teach people how to really invest and not just buy. A lot of people say, oh my God, I want this, I want that, but they're not thinking. Number one, you got to see, you know what, how long am I going to live into this house? And what kind of neighborhood am I going into? And especially if you're going to invest, and especially when you're going to buy multifamily, 2-family, 3-family, I always say, make sure you buy into a good area. If you wouldn't want to live into it, if you know it's a drug addict area, if you know it's, you know, I'm not going to name certain things, but you just know, you're going to not get a return on your money. You got to realize, you know, is it near certain places? You know, is it near a train station when I'm buying? You may like the ugly yellow house, right? But nobody else will like that yellow house. So yeah, you'd say, I got it as a good deal. But you may have to turn that yellow house into something else. So you're going to have to invest, turning that over when you're going to sell. I always tell people, be careful of buying 2 bedrooms because you may not be able to sell it fast.
Oh.
You can sell it, but how fast can you sell it? Unless you can add a 3rd bedroom. And if you can add a 3rd bedroom, then you got more value into that property. There's a lot of things to consider before you just jump. But some people don't want to get educated. They just say, I want to buy a house. If you say I want to buy a house, my job is to sell your house. But me personally, the person I am, like to educate. But some people don't want that. I want that, and that's what I want. Now, when you're ready to sell, I said, please don't call me. I don't say it out loud, but I'm saying, please don't call me. Because some investments are hard to sell.
Right.
You got to make wise decisions. You got to think about things that you're doing. You got to think about down the line. A lot of people don't have the end in mind. They only have now in mind. So you said, I want this tiny house. and you are a single person at 25 years old. You don't know down the road if you're going to find Mr. Right, and you say, this is a house I wanted to build in, but now that becomes so small and become a hard to sell. Of course, we can rent it out. There's other options, but you got to just think long term when you're going to do anything. Have the end in mind. Have a goal. Understanding what you're going into. Understanding a clear vision of what you're taking on before you're taking on. Another thing a lot of people do is take on too much work. Now, the bank won't approve the loan in a certain area, I mean, a certain disaster state. But some people say, okay, cosmetic wife, I can do it all. I understand that. I never buy a house that I can do it all. But I said I wanted to change everything. Money runs out fast, and your mortgage is going to come up. And the other bills, and a lot of people never consider, if you were renting all along and you never pay heating bill, water bill, and light bill, and gas bill or oil bill, you in for a big surprise. So you can't roll like that anymore. You got to save those coins. And so a lot of people don't think before they act. They're just like, I want a house. No, I must admit, I didn't think either, because I didn't know better. And so I understand where people at. You understand why I'm teaching now, right? I'm teaching because I understand that people didn't understand, but then I still realize that people don't want to know. You can't force people to know. When they get in trouble, they come back. Another thing I want to tell you, Altovise, that was that people that I really, really want to teach people about money now and how to handle their money, and not because I'm that of an expert either, because I'm learning better, is that when you don't understand money, you don't understand credit, and you don't understand anything about your bills. So you're going to end up like one of my clients. Less than 6 months, and she's behind on her mortgage. That's because you didn't handle your money right. Not Altovise, not because she lost her job, not because she got sick, because she worked double time and triple time, but because you don't manage your money properly. And when you don't learn how to manage your money, that's bad. You can't leave generational wealth. I'm sorry, I get a little bit off the topic. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect. Because when we think about, again, when we go back to what your book does, that's what your book does. It changes that mindset. So I can't look at, buying a home the same way I can at renting an apartment. It's not going to be the same. There's no way that it's going to be on the same level. It doesn't work that way. We wish. That's just like I always tell my children. I said, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be buying our home, but we're going to buy it cash. I'm not buying a home and taking out a loan. We're going to buy it cash. And so I said, there's things that are different when you buy a home. If something breaks, you have to pay to fix it. You have to pay to cut the grass. You have to pay, to redo the roof and this and that. All of those things come out of your pocket. So it's definitely something for you to think about. It's a whole mindset shift. And that's why I said, I love the book, because that's what it does. It gives people the steps they need to take that mindset shift, but only if you are willing to put in the work. Because I'm sure that there is somebody out there that will buy the book and just hold on to it. And they won't think about it until after the fact. And then they'll go back and be like, oh, I should have did this. Oh, I should have did that. Oh, I missed this. How did I miss that? And that's what we're trying to stop you from doing. Is having those late aha moments after the fact. But that also tells you something. This is the thing, and this is something that I have loved about Antoinette. Antoinette is so present with everything she does. When she's speaking, when she's working with her clients, when she's doing a photo shoot, she is just in the moment. That's just it. Me being an introvert, I am just like, okay, yeah, I'll go sit down. And Antoinette's like, come on, let's take a picture. Let's go. Come on. And that's just her personality. But in that same manner, she's not going to allow you just, if you're her client, she's not just going to allow you to just sit back and just allow things to happen. No, she's going to be in the moment. She's going to say, okay, well, what do you want to do next? Okay, well, now we got this part. What's going to be the next part for you? Okay, well, if you don't like this, then what is it that you do want? And I love that, because I've come in contact with some realtors that were not like that. It was, you tell them what you want and they tell you no.
That is true. I have some clients who tell me, and I know some realtors who do that.
There are some realtors out there that literally, you tell them what you want and they tell you no, and you're like, but this is what I want. Instead of them going through a process and saying, okay, well, this is how we can get what you want, they immediately say no and they shut you down. And then what ends up happening is you have the individual or the family, or, you know, the single mother or the single father that goes and buys something that they're not happy with. They buy stuff that they're not happy with. Hey, guys. So I see you guys coming in. Thank you so much for the reactions. Hey, Sandy and Vanetta, how are you? I saw Adon and Shalonza. How are you guys? This is a speakeasy interview with Miss Antoinette Gabriel. You guys know that I do the Speakeasy podcast, where I go live and interview some authors and speakers about what it is that goes on behind the scenes of being an author or a speaker. And I'm lucky because Antoinette is both. I've gotten the opportunity to see her speak live. She is also a realtor, and she is the author of 2 books, guys. She will be coming back and putting in the comments the link to her book, so that way you guys can see, get it. And we were talking about her second book and how it's more of a workbook. It's more of a journal for you to go through this whole home buying and investing process, literally from affirmations to an area for your vision board. This book is something that you have not seen when it comes to books on Amazon. It's something you have not seen, first of all, when it comes to books from a realtor.
Sure.
When we're talking about a realtor putting out a book, most times you're going to say it's going to be a book of how to buy a house, or examples of buying a house, and that's it. But her giving you that personalized touch is that motivation, that inspiration, and that's the same personalized touch she gives when she speaks and does live events. So guess what? If you need her to speak at an event you have coming up, you definitely want to reach out to her. Her name is Antoinette Gabriel, and again, she's all over social media. So tell them how they can find your book, as well as how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, so definitely I'm on Facebook, Periscope, name it. You name it, right? As Antoinette Gabriel, Realtor Antoinette. You look up Realtor Antoinette, and in Connecticut, I think there's one Realtor Antoinette I saw before. But anyway, you look up Realtor Antoinette on Facebook. Can't miss it. It's in my face. Can't miss it. But anyway, yeah. And for my book, my journal is bit.ly/Home Journal 2017. bit.ly/Home Journal 2017. This will bless your friend's life, your family life, your life. It's just a good start and good things to have. So if you want to grab one, it's on Amazon, and it's bit.ly/Home Journal 2017.
I love it. I love it. I see it going even further. So I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to say it. I'm going to speak it, because I'm me. I'm the host, so I can do what I want. No. I'm going to speak it. That I not only see people purchasing this book, but I see this being a curriculum. Wow. I see this being a curriculum. Why? Because this is not what's being taught. Because if it was something that was being taught, we wouldn't have so many people having issues when it comes to buying a home.
Exactly.
And I don't think that it's, not only is it something that's not taught, it's something that's kind of caught. But I think that this should be something that's taught when we're go back to the high schools. That this is something that should be taught there, because guess what? They're the next generation. And a lot of them know nothing about home ownership. Nothing.
Sad. Very sad.
Nothing. I know that I personally am in a very small town, so a lot of the homes here have been bought out and rented. They rent out the homes here. They renovate them, and I had to laugh when you said the 2-bedroom homes, because we're so small that a good number of the houses in downtown area are all 2-bedrooms.
Wow. Wow.
They're like
wow.
bedroom homes. Some of them they convert or try to convert to a 3-bedroom, but it's like a huge amount of 2-bedrooms. And so I'm thinking, like, okay, great. That's not what I want. First of all, I got children. That's definitely not what I want. But it's a different perspective because it's a small town, and that's what they do. But they take them and they rent them out. But for the longest time, I lived in Philadelphia for the majority of my life. I've been in this small town for about 8 years in Maryland. And in Philadelphia, the thing that I saw, and this was my first aha moment when it came to real estate and investing, was, when I was younger, somebody told me, and I only had one person ever say this to me, buy a duplex, rent out the second one, and live in the other one. And I said, if I would have done that, y'all, I would be sitting on a lovely stack of cash at the moment.
Yes.
It wasn't something that was reinforced. It wasn't something that I saw or heard from different people. And then as I got older, I actually rented a 3-bedroom apartment. And this is what it was. In one part of Philadelphia, there's a whole bunch of 3-story homes. And what they did was they went and started buying up the 3-story homes and converting them into apartments. And so there was 2 apartments on the first floor, and then the second and third floor was an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment, a 4-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
And I like, I didn't think about it at the moment because I was renting. I wasn't paying attention to real estate and investing. But now that I think back on it, I'm like, wow. Because the property was in a great area, even though it was an area at one time that had been run down. It was close to a college. So you were always going to get renters if you're close to a college.
Wow.
Close to a college. It was close to transportation. It was close to a way to get on a major highway. And now that I'm a little older. I'm a little older. And all of those things are running through my mind. And I'm like, if I would have had the money and the know-how, that would have been a great investment.
Yeah.
Great investment. But now that I know better, I'm going to do better. Investments are coming down the pipeline. Now that I know better, I will do better. So for those who are coming in, if you have not done so already, share out the broadcast, because somebody somewhere on your timeline may need this information when it comes to investing in some real estate, or when it comes to purchasing their home. They may need to connect with Miss Antoinette Gabriel. Like I said, she's been giving some great information. This interview has been complete fire. From the first time she opened her mouth, this interview has been fired. So this interview will remain up. But again, you may be catching this on YouTube or on Pinterest or any number of other places. Definitely reach out to Miss Antoinette. She will give you her information again. One more time before we leave, Antoinette, give them how they can reach out to you. Or if they would like to email you, what is your email address?
My email address is Realtor Antoine, that's Realtor Antoine, Antoine @gmail.com. Again, you can find me on all platforms in Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, you name it, as Realtor Antoinette. So if you look for Realtor Antoinette, you'll definitely find me. And I'll leave you with one more thing, is to say that no matter what, you can do it. It's all that you just have to take an action plan, and that you don't have to settle for a landlord. I'll leave you one more thing, one more thing, Altovise, is that you were mentioning something, and you say you have to want it bad enough. I had a girl who, she said, Antoinette, can you help me? I help her with a credit. I help her save some money. We had a plan, and we write down the plan, and she was good. She called me every week. She texts me when she don't call me, and she tell me where she's at. Everything was fine. Finally, the credit was good. The money was good, but the fear kicked in. Oh. And she said, you know what? I'm just going to wait until the following year. Fear can really cripple you. This is what happened. She just was scared to take the leap, but she was praying to God for open doors. And I always say God has a sense of humor. So guess what, guys? Her landlord that lived beside her decided one day to come in her apartment without knocking, without calling, without anything, and she was half naked in her house. She called me and she said, Antoinette, I'm going to sue him. You can't believe this. It could have been my daughter, because I think the time her daughter was like 12 or 13 years old. And she was devastated. Suppose it was my daughter naked in the house, what if? And she got devastated. I said, girl, God is talking to you. God is telling you something. It's time to move. That's how she got her house. Something happened. Sometimes God has to push us out. Listen, I remember when I said I wanted to sell real estate full time, and I was working a 9 to 5. Listen, my supervisor had to drive me crazy one morning, and God was tired of me talking to him. God, I want it. Lord, I just want to be full time, but my money looked funny. One day, my supervisor came and said he wanted to meet me in the office. I never go to the office. I packed up and leave. Why am I saying this? Somebody out there is saying, I can't do it. Somebody is looking and saying, you know what? I fixed the credit. You know what? I fixed my money is not bad. I know what, but I'm scared. You scared, that's that scared money don't make money, right? But scared life don't make a better life. So if you want better for yourself, you got to look at yourself and say, you know what? I'm going to feel the fear, and I'm going to jump in it anyway. And if you have faith and you know that you got a God that can take you through many things, and He's taken you journeys upon journeys before, He can do it again. Stop the fear, cut the fear. Do not go into 2018, with that fear on your life or keeping yourself back. Remember, you can do all things.
Yeah.
True Christ that strengtheneth you.
I love it. Oh my goodness, this interview has been phenomenal. Don't forget that if you are a speaker or an author, you have several opportunities to collaborate with me by either being a guest here on the Speak Easy podcast, or also by being a part of the blog collaboration. If you go to bit.ly/Speak Easy podcast, all lowercase, you will definitely be able to sign in. And again, we've already started opening up slots for January, because we've been getting a large number of people signing up for their interviews. But also, if you want to be a part of the blog collaborations for authors or speakers, by all means, email me at contacts@altovisepelzer.com and put into the subject line blog collaboration. I look forward to talking to you guys next time. Thank you so much, Antoinette, for joining me.
Thank you, Altovise, for having me here. I appreciate it. I love it, and I love you.
I loved our conversation today. This was phenomenal. Anybody who's coming in right now, by all means, you're going to have to go back and catch the replay. Antoinette laid so many truth bombs throughout this whole interview. You definitely want to go back. You'll be inspired to be able to reach out to her, not only to get her book, but also to reach out so that way you can start investing in your legacy. So I love you guys, and don't forget to press it out.